Osmotic pressure in medical solutions. Now we're going to do a real quick discussion of some medical terminology that is related to this idea of osmotic pressure. This is an area that is very important for those going into all areas of medicine, including not just pre-med, but nursing and pharmacy. And so it's worth discussing in the same area that we are discussing osmotic pressure, even though I'm pretty sure your biology classes will cover it as well. We're going to look at several terms, many of which are effectively synonyms and are just used in different fields. I'm going to discuss each of these as isotonic, hypertonic, and hypotonic version, just for consistencies. But know that here I also have listed the osmotic versions of each term as well, in case you run across those. In biological systems, the cell walls and membranes act as semi-permeable membranes. Putting cells in different types of solutions will change the structure of the cells, as the water either moves into or out of them. An isotonic solution has concentration that is equal to that of the cells, and so the blood cells will look very normal. If you put them in a hypertonic solution, the solution has a greater solute concentration than the cells, and so the water will flow out of the blood cells and into the hypertonic or the higher concentration solution. This will shrink the cells, making them appear shriveled. Hypotonic solutions have a lower concentration of solute, and so the water is going to flow from the low concentration to the high concentration inside the cell. If this is too hypotonic, this can cause so much water to flow into the cell that first it will swell, which you see here, but if it happens even worse, it can actually burst and cause the cells to effectively die. This is why in medicine it's so important to hydrate patients with the appropriate types of solution for whatever their individual problems are. Though even as non-practitioners, we can actually use these properties to help ourselves. Two places that this is often cited as the use is sore throats and saline washes. If you gargle with a hypertonic solution of salt water, so a highly concentrated version of salt water, you can help reduce swelling in your throat to provide very temporary relief. But also, the high quantity of salt can help to dehydrate the bacterial cells, decreasing their ability to reproduce and worsen the infection. Now, how big of an impact this actually has is certainly debatable, and there's certainly a mechanical force of gargling that also helps the gargling of salt water to help your sore throat. Another use of this is saline washes, especially for nasal passages. Much like a sore throat, the mechanical force of pushing water through your nasal passages helps to remove infection, and that is a large portion of how nasal washes like a neti pot is used. However, if you have very swollen nasal passages, you can also make a hypertonic solution, or a solution with a slightly higher salt content. Because it's going through your nasal passages, you can't make it too extreme, but you can do a slightly hypertonic solution. And this seems to help by pulling water out of the passage's cells, thereby reducing swelling, which opens up your nasal passages, allowing you to breathe better. The data on this is also quite debatable, but it doesn't seem to cause any harm. In review, in medicine, isotonic solutions have an osmotic pressure equal to body fluids. Hypertonic solutions have an osmotic pressure greater to that of body fluids, causing cells placed in it to shrivel as water leaves the cells. And hypotonic solutions have osmotic pressures that are less than that of the body fluids, causing the cells placed in it to swell up as water flows into the cell. And this can also cause cell bursting if it's too hypotonic.